In Hillsborough County, beginning in 1937, athletes and fans alike experienced the thrill of victory and agony of defeat at Phillips Field. It was the home of the University of Tampa's football team. Players such as Freddie Solomon and John Matusak are among the sports heroes that earned a spot in professional football while on Phillips Field. The field was also big on high school sports, too. As a matter of fact, the Plant Hillsborough Thanksgiving Day football game was one of the hottest tickets in town. And during a time of racial segregation, legendary games between black high school rivals George S. Middleton and Howard W. Blake were played on Phillips Field. It would host its last game in 1967 and was eventually demolished in the name of progress. But in May of 2013, something remarkable happened. The Hillsborough County Historical Advisory Council, led by Mr. Fred Hearns, found a way to bring the faded memories of Phillips Field back to life. The council held a marker dedication ceremony in Julian B. Lane Riverfront Park. The park is next to Tampa Preparatory School, which is the former site of Phillips Field. The marker dedication was more of a reunion than anything else. Just about anyone who ever had an association with the field was there. High school marching band members, former athletes and announcers, and just like old times, Blake and Middleton football teams were showing their school spirit. For Dale Kimball and his daughters, the marker unveiling was a dream for Field.
It's a great day for Tampa in the fact that about 6 years ago, there was a historical marker put up just down the street at Plant Field, where I brought some of my children with me to be there for that event. But at the same time, I said, wait, there needs to be another marker done here in Tampa. And that marker was going to be at Phillips Field, home of the University of Tampa Spartans for so many years. So many great football games for the high schools were here. And what we did was, back 5 years, we brought it to the commission, got everything approved, but at that time, they were building a big new history museum, and funds were tight. So we I thought we just left it on the table because it cost about $3,000 to put one of those markers up. Well, flash forward to today, Mr. Fred Hearns got things together to make this thing work with the Historical Commission. But I also want to thank some people that were here that helped back then and now. One was University of Tampa Professor Bob Kirstein, and then there was also a gentleman that was really involved in stock cars and setting up the Plant Field marker because of stock cars. His name was Don Yates, but unfortunately he can't be here today because he passed a couple years ago. Well, here we are today. We've got a bunch of family here, community people, the football teams. We're so blessed to be here.
For Lloyd Mumford, Phillips Field is where he learned to play the kind of football that would eventually make him a Super Bowl champion with the Miami Dolphins.
It's where I played my first football game, so first organized football game was played on Phillips Field, and I learned just about everything that I know from Coach Abe Brown, who was my coach at Middleton, and all of my football skills I got right there on Phillips Field. I remember going on playing the games when I played there, and I finally became a star on the team. I used to go on the field for the kickoff, and I'd come off the field at halftime. I'd go back after halftime on the kickoff, and I'd come off the field when the game was over. So I spent a lot of time on Phillips Field.
Yes, it was a field that all of Tampa flocked to, no doubt about it.
Historian Bob Kirstein talks about why the field was so important to so many.
It was so important in Tampa's sports history, both African-American and white during days of segregation, as far as Middleton and Blake having it as a home field. Hillsborough and Plant played Thanksgiving Day games there that were filled to capacity. You had a football team from Drew Field play there. And beyond that, you had stock car races, you had professional boxing matches. So there was so much that occurred here.
The field is gone, but its impact lives on.
A big university who I'm familiar with has a part of its alma mater that goes like this: time and change will surely show how firm thy friendship. Well, time and change has taken place here as we walk down the memory lane known as Phillips Field. But the long-last friendship is still evident in the ceremony that we dedicate today. Now listen quietly, and you will still hear the roars of the partisan University of Tampa crowd from the bleachers encircling this place we honor, a place we call Phillips Field.
This is Frank Crum for Spotlight Tampa.